Hi, I am Alfonso Muchacho and I am a producer and DJ, not a YouTuber. And today I'm going to talk you into buying the Empress Reverb. Now, to be clear, I didn't want to buy this pedal. I didn't want to buy this pedal. I already have a bunch of great in-the-box reverbs, plugins from companies like Eventide, Valhalla, Waves, and it doesn't make much sense to want to buy a really, really expensive plugin in a box that I can only use one instance of. And let's be clear, I'm not being rude about that. This isn't an analog reverb. This is a algorithm in a box. It could be a plugin, but it's not. I don't play guitar. I don't really play live, so it makes no logical sense for me to spend a lot of money to have this inconvenience. But this is the problem. It's a really, really high-end algorithm in a box. And once I heard this thing, it kind of became like a voice in my head, always talking to me. Every time I went to reach for any other reverb, I had this little nagging voice in my head saying, it's not the Empress, it's not the Empress. And it just bothered me for such a long time that I finally gave in and just bought it. Now, I did a lot of blind testing with this against other reverb pedals and other plugins. You know, the kind of blind testing where you close your eyes really tight and lean into the speaker just to see if you can hear a difference. And the problem was, I picked this one out every single time. Other people have already done breakdowns on all the different features and, you know, how to operate this thing, but that's not really my style. I'm an artist and I just really want to show you how good it sounds on its own and in a mix. Now this has a whole bunch of presets on here and you can create your own, obviously, but to be honest, that's not really my style. When it comes to reverb, I'm kind of a preset guy, as in I want to get something that sounds realistic, like I want a realistic hall, plate, just a room, something that makes it sound like it's a real space. Sure, if I'm using reverb as an effect, so maybe like a build up or a fade out, I'll create my own, but really what I wanted to do was get something that was kind of like a set and forget. I'd find an algorithm on it, leave it on Ascend in my DAW and just run everything through it when I wanted a bit of realistic space. Now, although this does have a few weird algorithms and modulation, flanging, and particularly the ghost and beer settings are very useful, it's not going to get super crazy. That's not really what this is all about. It's realistic. It sounds like the synth, the guitar, the vocal, or the drum is being played in a real space. Take a listen to this piano sound as I switch through some of the presets. Now I just think that sounds fantastic. It doesn't dominate the mix in an unusable way. Yes, I've got the volume cranked all the way up so you can hear it, but even with this super aggressive high volume, you can still tell that it sits well in the mix and doesn't dominate. Now, despite the cost of this thing, and I think at the time of making this video, it costs £499 in the UK, which is a lot of money for one effect, essentially. Sometimes you just have to decide not to compromise and buy the best you can afford if you can afford it. I've messed around with a lot of cheap effects pedals in the past and I've had a lot of fun with them, but truth be told, I'd give them all up for this. Now this sits permanently on Send A in Ableton Live, and it's the go-to reverb that I use, and until I hear something better, I just can't imagine that ever changing. So I'm going to shut up now. You don't want to hear me talk any longer. I'm just going to let you listen to a few different sounds playing through it.